In this video, we'll be covering the 5 agents we think are the best agents for climbing up the rank ladder. As Episode 4 Act 3 comes to a close and Episode 5 looms around the corner, we thought it would be a good idea to suggest a few agents who can aid in your climb for when the rank reset comes along. What's going on, ProGuides family? It's your host, Sergeant Frost, and today we have the 5 best agents to climb with in the current Valorant meta. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below your favorite agent to play, and let's head right into it. The first agent up to bat in today's video is an initiator that every ranked player should have in their back pocket. KO is an agent that has slowly but surely risen up in the meta since his release last year. So why is KO great for climbing? Well, let's first look at his class and what his role in a team comp is. KO is an info-gathering initiator that specializes in throwable CC and skirmishing. Initiators are agents that are supposed to start fights with their utility, as their kids have abilities that set up their team for success whether they're running into a bomb site on attack or trying to stop a push on defense. KO is a special case in the initiator class because he possesses arguably the strongest form of crowd control that's not a flash, and that is his suppression. Yes, KO can be played like a hybrid agent. His flashes and molly allow him to play like a duelist and fight for himself or help out his teammates. But his knife and his ultimate allow him to have initiating capabilities for his team. His knife not only tells you who gets scanned, but it also prevents enemies from using their abilities, and it turns off sentinels' placed abilities if they are suppressed. And just think about it for a second. In a ranked environment where your teammates could be running right into that Cypher trap setup, don't you think that shutting down an agent through suppression is super valuable? KO's ultimate even allows him to use his suppression for 20 seconds in an extremely wide radius, all while being combat stimmed and having a second chance at life if picked up. Not to mention, his underhand flash is currently one of the hardest to dodge flashes in the game, and that makes him extremely hard to deal with when played well. As a player, you need to find a balance between playing like a traditional initiator where you stand in the back behind your team and throw your abilities in to support their push as they run in, while also adopting an aggressive playstyle where you play forward like a duelist and use your pop flashes, molly, and ultimate to create space for your team. Although KO has a simple kit, it's definitely not a simple agent to play well, but the rewards for doing so is a lot of potential rank rating points. And if you want more tips and tricks or individual guidance on how to rank up in the coming episode, make sure to visit us at ProGuides.com, where our Radiant and Immortal level coaches are eager to help you take advantage in the rank reset and climb past your limitations. So if that sounds interesting to you, the link is in the description. Up second today, we have the agent that shows up in basically every game now, and that man is Chamber. Chamber is a prolific agent because his presence being added into the game shifted the game's meta a lot. He single-handedly became the best sentinel when he was added into the game, and he introduced an aggressive picks-oriented playstyle that only duelists used to be able to do. He popularized a hybrid sentinel duelist playstyle due to the nature of how his kit functions and how it allows him to play. And his kit is loaded with some of the best frag abilities in the game. So what makes Chamber great as an agent? Well, that answer lies in his abilities, as that is what allows him to play like a duelist sentinel hybrid. Apart from some basic sentinel capabilities with his trap that can slow pushes a lot, what makes Chamber especially powerful for picks is his ability to set up teleports to take early duels with significantly less risk. This lets you take over rounds very quickly if you're able to find a favorable duel early, and your teleport location also lets you dictate whether you want to play, retake, or anchor the site, which keeps the enemies on their toes constantly. His Headhunter is also a really eco-friendly weapon that functions almost like a guardian, which means that there's always a threat of popping off in any given round, which also translates to you having the ability to carry your team even on ecos. And finally, Chamber's ultimate is probably one of the most broken guns in the game, and can single-handedly carry rounds due to its one-shot, one-kill policy and slow on kill. In all honesty, Chamber's kit is not only strong in general, but downright oppressive in ranked when you're feeling your shot and positioning yourself for early picks. Since ranked is more kill-oriented than team play-oriented, you have to make more options to give your team the advantage, and at the same time, you have tools to prevent sneaky lurkers on other parts of the map even if you're taking picks. Now, what agent would you expect to be on this list without us even having to say it? Yep, you guessed it, Jett. We don't have to go into a deep dive in detail as to why Jett is good for climbing. I mean, we sing high praises for her in almost every video she appears in on our channel. Even after getting a slight nerf and change to her dash, Jett still finds her way to the top of the meta without fail. And that is why you should be using her to climb in your rank game starting today. There is no other duelist that is more consistent than her at the moment. She can entry, she can AWP, she can lurk, she's mobile and slippery, her kit is cost effective and can be used creatively to make plays or get out of bad situations. Jett is an agent where your overall skill level can only go up the more you play her. Her ceiling as an agent is sky high, and it's only gated by how much time you put into her and how comfortable you become with her over that time. Jett has many tools to dominate a game, and the best part is she can be flashy and look cool while making those plays. There aren't any other duelists in the meta currently that are as effective and versatile as she is right now. So how can you use her to climb in your games? Well, this question when applied to Jett heavily depends on what kind of playstyle you want to have with her. You can use her as a fast entry where she carries a phantom and smoke dashes into sites to create space and get the first pick for her team. You can use the Wardell playstyle where you walk around with the AWP and look for aggressive angles where you can force picks for your team to get a round advantage. There are so many ways you can use Jett with high effectiveness. You just need to decide how you want to play her and then practice that playstyle because you can't really go wrong. Well, unless you're missing just all of your shots though. Viper is next up on the list due to her insane potential as an agent. This list has a host of hybrid agents on it, and that's mostly because hybrid agents can do more than one job at a time in game, which gives them more options to take over the game depending on what the team needs. Viper is meta on quite a few maps, but what makes her really shine is the fact that you can really tell the difference between a fill Viper and a real Viper player. And this is important because if you're on a map where your team needs a Viper, the quality of your game can single-handedly be decided by whether your Viper is good at playing Viper, or if she just knows how to place a wall and put it up and down. Viper is a hybrid agent that can distinctly play different playstyles on opposite sides of the map to help out her team. On defense, Viper can play like a sentinel where she sets up her abilities on or around bomb sites to deny the site from attackers for as long as possible. Viper on defense can hold down a sentinel role because her abilities present a direct threat to attackers who try to gain map control, or even teams that don't respect her utility and attempt to push through it. On attack, Viper fills a vision blocking controller or lurker role where she can use her wall and smoke to block vision, and then deny space in order to lurk or help a team execute. One of the big reasons Viper has become popular last year was because of the post-plant meta. Having two mollies allowed Viper to play safe and wait for the bomb to be defused, and she could safely and successfully defend a bomb plant from afar. That way the defense would not be able to contest her. Having duality as Viper allows her to help out her team in a multitude of ways, which makes her extremely valuable to a team comp. Last up on our list today we have Omen. Omen is a great agent to climb with because he is a reliable and easy to use smoker that a player of any caliber can use to pilot in their games. Omen's main job is to smoke, and after his buffs in Act 2, smoking for him became easier and more consistent. Omen also has the potential to play like a duelist due to the fact that he has high mobility, which gives him the potential to outplay enemies through repositioning or beating spawn timings. And his blind is a great tool to use to support your team as they barrel into sites or contested neutral zones. Omen is not a jack of all trades because his main job is facilitating his team, and fragging out is usually his second priority in the round. But what makes him so great for climbing is because he can be used in basically every map outside of Breeze, and once again, a good Omen can do so much more than an auto-filled one. Omen is a playmaker for his team through the use of his utility, so you need to keep your eyes and ears open and play with your team in order to set up plays that can help your team win the round. But when that doesn't work, taking things into your own hands and creating some aggressive Omen plays is always another option, especially since people don't like to play controllers a lot. Being a good Omen will always be a value add to your team's power and gives you a lot of tools to turn the tides in your favor. An honorable mention for this video is Yoru. Yoru, after he was reworked, now has the potential to be a good duelist, but he does lack consistency, and that is mainly due to the fact that many players have not mastered his kit and the playstyle that his kit allows him to have. But when he is mastered and played to a high level, Yoru has a level of impact on the map that rivals other meta agents like Jett and Chamber. There are a few reasons for this. First of all, Yoru's new rework gave him a lot more tools to outplay his opponents and create chaos on sight. Secondly, his kit also allows him to flex as an entry duelist and also a sub-initiator through his support of flashes, so you can change up your playstyle as needed. And third, no one really understands how to play against Yoru except Yoru players. That means if you're a proficient Yoru player, you have a distinct advantage by being an off-meta pick that many people haven't really learned how to deal with. Not only will that give you more chances to outplay your opponents, but also means that your opponents will constantly be afraid of what you can do and cause them to hesitate. So basically, Yoru is a secret pick that can totally revolutionize your rank games if learned properly. Well guys, that's all we have for 5 agents you should be using to climb. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing to our channel. Also, don't forget to check out ProGuides.com to gain some access to some truly amazing coaching. This has been Sergeant Frost, and I'll see you all again in the next one.